morning. It's Tuesday, April 6th, 8 o'clock in the morning, and I am in Hot Springs, North Carolina, where the trail I'm on the trail. It's a sidewalk right through the middle of town. Michael and Scout just dropped me off. We had a great breakfast down there at the corner of that building, the Rocky Mountain Diner. Had a breakfast skillet, which was huge. That's the direction I came from a few days ago. 3 days of rest in Black Mountain was awesome. Hanging out with the granddaughters was awesome, and Michael and Beth. Now I'm back on the trail, shooting for just 11 miles today. I have a new pair of shoes, same ones I was wearing. I mean, same style, just they're new. I pretty much wore the old ones out. Wasn't getting any traction at all with them. And then, let's see, new shoes and new pack. I have another Z-Packs. This is the Arc Hall. Slightly larger, but it's a medium frame torso versus the long torso, which just wasn't comfortable. I know it's going to take me probably a day or two or a few miles to dial this one in just the way I want it, but highly optimistic that it's going to be more comfortable. So anyway, just getting started here in Hot Springs, and I should be out of town and on the trail here in another mile or so. All right, crossing Spring Creek, walking through town. There's the restaurant slash bar, the inn that Painless and I stopped at waiting for Gail. Just had a nice, awesome beer there. Continuing through town, just saw Howdy, another Texas Aggie on the trail. I've already bumped into 3 people who I knew from before taking my 3 days off, so we're on the same path, it seems like. All right, not out of town yet. There's the Hot Springs Health Resort. Since 1800, it was also an internment camp for Germans in World War I. Interesting. Coming up on the French Broad River here in a minute, and I think the trail cuts off the road from there. I guess they put blazes anywhere, including lamp posts and telephone poles. First one I seen, I was just making sure I was on the right path here. Oh, it's painted right there on the bridge. So coming up on the French Broad River. It's a big river. Looks pretty high right now. I guess all the rains from last week. All right, I like crossing from the bridge, crossing from town back to my new reality. It's a nice gentle transition, but there's a stark transition between the two worlds. So enjoyed my 3 days, enjoyed hanging out, resting, resupplying, visiting, playing, laughing, having fun. Now I'm getting ready to enjoy a beautiful hike in the woods and the serenity of a clear blue mountain lake. Haven't come across one of those yet, but it's a beautiful setting right here. All right, just on the banks of the river, getting on the trail, just saw these tiny homes. I don't know if it's a hostel or permanent dwellings. It's a great idea on a small piece of property like that. So the trail slowly winds out of town. And here's the first on the trail, sand. I guess it wouldn't be fun to get shoes and boots full of sand. Curious how long we follow the river before we start up. And I know I'll be going up at some point. My shelter I'm going to in 11 miles is on top of one of the mountains. What an awesome way to transition from the city to the trail. Probably can't see through the trees. Down there is a bridge. It's the one I walked across from town. And here's the river. As my trail continues, it'll turn up here somewhere. But I already feel like I'm out of town and getting back into the trail mindset. Just leaving the river and starting up the hill, and I hear my name called out, and this walking buffalo and his
Roxy.
New friend, Roxy.
Yeah, my new companion for the trail.
Awesome, Roxy. Well, I look forward to seeing you often.
Absolutely.
That's great. So you just found a good camp spot right here in London.
Yeah, we got in a little late and then just decided to set up here. We're right next to the trail and
Yeah.
head out early in the morning. Well,
Awesome.
Not real early, but
There's Hot Springs down below. See the main street going through town. If I look hard enough, I could probably find the Dollar General where the restaurant was. But getting higher and higher. After meeting with Walking Buffalo is just uphill. There's the river down there. Hopefully I'll get a great clear view of the city. Ask and ye shall receive. Great view of the river. And then there's the city. That's the mountain right there I came down off of with Painless coming into town. It was a long kind of switchback downhill because it was a lot of elevation to lose. So I guess soon I'll be putting this behind me and the sound of the river will be lost. All right, I'm in the same spot I just took of the city. Just want to say it's starting that I mentioned earlier, that mental transition from city to trail. And mentally I'm ready for it. I'm looking forward to it because I love the feeling and the silence of it. And there's the bridge coming out of town and the spa resort in the background. And this is the official moment on the trail. Hopefully you can hear the noise of the river off in the distance. And I'm going to turn this corner and then there's silence. So pretty cool. Boom. Volume just turned off. I am back in the wilderness. Though there's a highway I'll be crossing. And probably, matter of fact, you hear a car running now, so there goes my theory I was demonstrating. But I just love that in the mountains when you have highway noises, rivers, creeks, whatever. And a simple turn of the trail, it goes from volume on to flipping the switch off, putting you back in the hiking mode. Hey, for Michael, I'm not sure if this showed up earlier when I was down lower. I'm zooming in now. Higher up on the ridge, gained about 700 feet. Looks like a big solar panel field, I guess, for the city. Just thought you might be interested. All right, 4.5 miles in, 1,600 feet in elevation gain. Just came across this huge retaining wall. I don't know what's on the other side. It looks like some type of actual dam. I don't know. Well, I'll know here in a second. It looks unusual thing just come across in the middle. Oh, here's a little, yay, my first mountain lake or pond. That's pretty. This is above the pond, so maybe a rancher had some cattle. There's the pond down there that was dammed up. So far for the last 3.5 mile, 3/4 miles, just the road to Damascus. We're going downhill. I don't know. We passed, there was somebody's land up there, I guess. And this is just giving us access. Hey, Michael, if you remember this morning, we came in, we saw that bridge with the AT sign on it. I'm here in 5.8 miles. So that's the direction back towards you. And this is back towards Hot Springs. Wow, we're up on 8.5 miles in. There's a fire tower I'm up on top of with incredible 360 degree. This is beautiful. There's a highway down there. No telling what I'm looking at. Not sure which direction. There's a trail, the side trails, 0.15 miles off of the AT. I have to go around the fire tower to the other side.
Tell your dad to watch his head up here.
Awesome views. All right, made it to camp, 11.4 or 5 miles. Got a good tent site. So I hiked down to the water, but decent flow coming out of the pipe. Beautiful day. Got warm Got a lot of sun. Gotta remember to put some sunscreen on tomorrow. And for the first time since I started hiking, there are bugs to worry about, some little flies of some type. I don't know if insect repellent will work, but they seem to swarm around. Hiking with a guy named Bob, guy from England, but been in the United States for about 20 years. Just out for a 3-week hike, and we're both getting bombarded. So he's trying an insect repellent he brought. If it works, I'll borrow some from him. So, got my water, heading back up to the shelter and the campsite. All right, my tent site at the, I gotta look at the name of the shelter. I'm not even sure. Very pretty area. It's a little shelter down there. You know, I just go down to the shelter and hang a left, and it's another 1/10 of a mile to the water down a hill. And just a couple of us setting up tents so far. So we'll see how busy it gets tonight.